and get up in that mess. And Derek was the only one with any foresight here, because he knew what was coming. The orcs, the elves were going to... The elves. You got to be kidding me. There's no elf here. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Not a single person is sliding down a stairwell on a shield.
No, it's more like the big trees that talk.
The Ents. Yeah, exactly. But just less wise.
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.
I'm waving at the camera.
Hi, hello, it's bad TV in your ears. I'm Dylan, saddled up next to one, Patrick Hickey.
Hey, everybody, great to be here.
And
Producer
Kaylin
Hi,
is
I'm here
over
too.
there behind the table. So we have a big show to get into. It is Life After Lockup. I'm not going to talk about how sad this episode was because I think, well, maybe here and there. I mean, I'll try to, keep it to a 2 or 3 count because I think that everybody who saw this episode knows exactly what I'm talking about. But before we get into it, let's talk about public service announcements. Pat, go ahead.
Bad TV Podcast, YouTube. All right. We are already blowing up the podcast arena, okay, with the audio version of Dylan and I talking. But we want our video show to blow up, which is the same. It's video of the same goddamn podcast that you're listening to now. We need you to drop what you're doing. Go over to I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Bad TV Podcast right now.
What?
And subscribe.
Subscribe to
The YouTube channel.
No. The YouTube channel is at badT.v. I think that's what it is, but it just search bad T.V.
Oh, okay.
So that's the YouTube channel.
I want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of March. I think that's doable.
We have a lot of people listening to the show on audio. We are starting to put out video for the first time on that channel. Help us not be ashamed of the measly numbers, because with the audience we have on these here airwaves, we could fill up Azteca Stadium socially distanced. So we know that you guys can go do this. If you can, please go subscribe and click the bell, comment, all that fun stuff. Just to wrap up public service announcements, I want to thank you guys for jumping in the review section. We cannot thank you enough. The support that we've received in the review section has skyrocketed us into the top 5 in various different categories. If you go on the Apples and whatnot, you don't ever do that. We do that because we obsess over the podcast because it's our business. But these are amazing reviews like this. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ruby. From Emily J. Ballett, 5 stars. I love this podcast. Belly laughs often. Ruby was the perfect edge. Her timing, good job. So, should we talk about Ruby?
Yes.
My sister made an appearance to help us break down the Scandal, also known as the Scandival. She was a hit. She was a fan favorite.
Big time.
Now, she is a tough bitch, man. She drives a hard bargain, and I have failed to get her to the negotiating table as of yet. I said, Rubes, we need you on the show. The fans want more.
They want to hear her recap Vanderpump Rules with us.
She said, I don't know if you have a Brinks truck. Oh, wait, I do. No, that you don't. So when you get that, come to me. If you guys want Ruby on the show, jump in the iTunes ratings reviews, leave 5 stars, say something about how you want Ruby on the show. Then I can show her. The fans are clamoring. So what? We can't pay you that much right now. But you're doing fine, okay? You're living the New York life. You don't need the money, okay? Help a brother, quite literally, out.
Dylan, the 400 glowing reviews stating I love Ruby. Please have her host the show.
We need a couple more, so jump in the reviews, leave 5 stars, kind words, more Ruby.
We're going to get to Life After Lockup. One last review, please. I love, this is my favorite kind of review, Dylan.
Yeah.
It says, I want to hate them, but I can't. Dylan and Pat are obnoxious and crass, but they are hilarious as much as I want to hate them. There's that hate word again.
Yeah.
I can't. These guys' podcast makes me cry, laugh every time, and they're not wrong about their commentary. Thank you for making me laugh with your brutal honesty.
What's I Can't Quit You from? Is that Forrest Gump?
No,
what's that from? I Can't Quit You?
Something Jump Back Mountain or something.
Oh, it's Jump Back Mountain.
Jump Back Mountain.
21 Jump Back Mountain. We love to be the devil inside your mind while you're watching these shows. Keep coming back, and we will keep fulfilling that role. And how could we not when we're talking about life after lockup? Pat, how many handcuffs do you give this episode?
Okay, Dylan. This episode, and all the various storylines intertwining with one another, coming together for an epic battle. I could only...
Battle of the Bastards, Helm's Deep.
The Starks, the Lannisters.
All of the famous battles of high fantasy pale in comparison to the parking lot brawl between...
Team Mo and Team Derek.
Yeah.
And and Elizabeth, and I can't think of the other, Aubriana. You know, I have to tell you, because there was an official winner in this battle.
Swing then! Swing then!
Yeah, I'll tell you, everybody watched the episode. I mean, Team Mo just decimated Team Derek. And the shocking part about all of it is, I think...
Okay. Gotta bleep that, right? We have to bleep that. The issue... Go ahead.
Yeah. So Elizabeth...
Swing then!
She was just KO'd on her back. And I think, like she's knocked out in the fog of being knocked out. She's kicking someone's poor SUV.
Yeah, that was Monique's. So that was definitely the highlight of the episode. Also, we had familial gatherings in front of giant rusted air compressors. Just the loveliest stuff. But how many handcuffs do you get?
Oh, it was the best episode of the season so far. 14 handcuffs.
The only issue that I had with the Battle of Helm's Deep... Oh, Patriot. Kaylin's got to go. Handcuffs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you don't watch the show. It's too sad.
Well, I tried to watch it, and yes, it was too sad. I had to give up halfway.
Do you see what I'm talking about? All right.
Hey, you watch it and listen to the podcast,
So
Kayla.
the only way...
I do need to watch this fight, though. I'm going to go back and check that out.
He's got to be done for the rest of the show, right? I mean, that was a lot of talking.
Well, you asked.
The only issue I had with the battle, the brawl, the Jets versus the Sharks, or the... I don't want to make a fat joke. I don't want to do that. Low-hanging fruit.
Sure.
The branches are reeling. There was so much blurred, because when you have clothing like that and bodies like that and that much commotion, things are going to fall apart and fall out. And this is a cable show, so there was a little bit of difficulty discerning what was going on in the melee. But the weaves were getting snatched, cars were getting kicked, security was involved, form tackling people onto parking blocks. I mean, there's nothing more you can ask from this show. It's got to be 90 pots. So let's get into it. We begin in Atlanta at the Southern Cobb Diner.
Yeah.
With Amber and Queen.
Is that her name?
Yep.
She's a nice lady.
She has a pretty intense kind of Tommy Flanagan type scar.
Yeah,
My God.
I was wondering about the nice friend.
It's a serious incident.
Well, I was wondering where these two met, and I was like, well, maybe they met volunteering at the church. But then I looked closer, and I saw that sizable knife wound taking up a fairly large portion of her face.
And you were like, it's probably prison.
Oh, yeah, they definitely met in prison.
Yeah. I've hazarded a guess that it's prison.
Now, I do want to say this. Why they're there, Amber and Queen, is Amber's there to recount the weekend's events. And I know this might come to a shock to everybody, but she doesn't. Her weekend wasn't spent visiting the park, feeding ducks, or having lunch with Grammy. It was at a bar sucking down cigs with her former partner while
Puppy.
blowing out what's left of her liver, and then capping off the night in a drunken argument over whether or not someone's dealing fentanyl while drinking Midori sours and, of course, sucking down cigs.
Yeah. She was not at a museum. And I don't blame her, because museums can often be very boring. I would much rather suck down a couple cigs and far too many Midori sours and fight with a man who used to have one or more eyebrow piercings with a big heavy bag in the corner and a lot of plywood around. That's my kind of night. But Queen is wondering if Pup is okay, and this triggers Amber to give Pup a ring. Now, Pat, once again, I feel as though we've got a cooked phone call.
Yeah.
We've got a very cooked phone call.
She says, "Hey, bitch." Yeah, she said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it should be mentioned, by the way, that this phone call is on speaker for the entire diner and the dining people over at Cobb's Diner to hear. I don't think they wanted to hear about all that puppy Eric drama.
I love that you brought that up because the most egregious part of this is that it was on speaker in a public restaurant. Now, Eric's ex, Heather called, and Heather put Puppy on three-way call, but Eric didn't know that Puppy was on the three-way call. So when they were screaming at each other about what had taken place last night, what with the transference of nookie and semen and blood and sweat and tears, Puppy heard the whole thing, and Puppy's hurt, and the conversation keeps going, and the sun sets on Amber and Queen, yet the sun is still ablaze in what looks to be a beautiful kind of wooded backdrop to Puppy's extremely sad life. Well, see, there I went. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay.
That's count one.
Now, Dylan, it's fine because I'm going to graft my thoughts on this.
Was the phone call 7 hours long? How was the sun setting?
I agree. We'll have to do the scene over and over again, you know. Puppy and Amber, they're my least favorite people on this television show.
Why is that?
Well, they gross me out, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Oh, okay.
They also bum me out.
Well, yeah.
The show should be called Sigs and Sadness.
Yeah.
Sigs and Sadness.
Yeah.
Because that's all they have.
That'll be the episode title of this show. But I think they're going to stick with Life After Lockup because Sigs and Sadness would be a little bit too on the nose, I think. So we move on to Monique and Derek and the sisters. If Walt Disney only knew, we could have had so much more formidable adversaries for Cinderella because these two, dare I say, are ratchet bitches. I mean, it's unbelievable. Derek is attempting to patch things up. Kind of. Elizabeth is in another outfit that is demanding that people pay attention to her, which is odd because if I looked like her, I would want people to look away as early and often as they possibly could. But I'm happy that she is blessed with that self-love. He tells the two about the sisters, Calandra, who you've referred to as
Pina
Colada, and is her name Sylvia or Sabrina?
Sylvia, I believe. Yeah. I think so.
The other one.
Yeah.
And the two sisters have a warfare default setting that is truly unbelievable. They say that Monique must be bringing her sisters to get into a physical altercation. And it's this crazy thing why it's like, why do you go there automatically? And things ratchet up quite a bit. We go through the social media beef of the last few years, what with posting things about Monique being a fat slob who makes them want to throw up. And Derek's had enough.
Yeah, he gets out of the car. Now, this is the crazy part of this. Derek's sister,
can you throw me my water, please?
Aubriana, the entire time has a gigantic fatty cooking
What?
in her fingers.
What?
She's smoking weed the entire time.
Fuck yeah.
THC was designed to calm the nerves.
It does a brilliant job at that as well.
Well, not with these two. Jesus Christ. The argument between them and Derek escalates. Derek needs to pull the fucking car over. And he's now refusing for the Thunder from Down Under cabal that will be in that parking lot.
Yeah.
By the way, we should mention the attire of Elizabeth, who is wearing something that is akin to My Little Pony meets Ninja. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You mentioned Disney. I wasn't sure if that was the...
No. It was My Little Pony meets...
a ninja. They kill you with nunchucks.
Yeah, I was going to say...
But with Elizabeth, it's going to be with... I don't know. She didn't have a good fighting skills from this podcast.
I was going to say... Yeah, no, she did not have the grace of Michelle Yeoh and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or anything like that.
Not even close.
Not even close. No, she's too flat-footed. And it's because of... well, how could you be agile? Right? But yeah, no, she looked like an armed robber in a giant... like if Yellowbird's cousin was slain and his or her coat were draped around someone, that's what she looks like. But Derek has had enough. He gets out of the car. He says, I'm not finna go. And the only reason I bring that up is I was watching with my mother. She goes, what is finna? What is finna? And I said, it is short for fitting to. I think, right?
I think so.
I'm not fitting to go and get up in that mess. And Derek was the only one with any foresight here.
Oh, yes,
because he knew what was coming. The orcs, the elves were going to... The elves. You got to be kidding me. There's no elf here. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Not a single person is sliding down a stairwell on a shield.
No, it's more like the big trees that talk. You know?
The Ents.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But just less wise. Right.
Way dumber. Way dumber.
Right. So, I just want these three to fucking shut up and go eat some kerosene-soaked cheeseburgers somewhere in the park. Just get along, everybody. So let's get to Taylor and Chance. Chance is probably my least favorite person on the show. He is just a truly, truly pathetic human being.
Yeah.
So Chance ignored a call last episode when they were building the baby bunk. The baby bunk will house Ashley's fourth child. I think we could probably say that's a bad idea, right?
Oh, yeah.
What with him being bankrupted by microtransactions on trivia games on his Android phone? Probably bad idea to saddle up with that guy. But he says, she calls him on it, and he says, well, honey, when I turn Google Maps on, my phone automatically goes into do not disturb. But it's like, how could anybody with an iPhone or a phone or, I mean, how could anyone with two brain cells believe that line of bullshit?
Taylor does.
I have this weird kind of thing going on with my phone where when I open Google Earth, it just turns setting. I mean, it's just such a bad lie. So anyways, he tells Taylor that he bought a plane ticket, and like a very sick person says, what does he say? What does this note mean, Dylan? What are you talking about?
In talking about his son, Ethan, he says, hey, I didn't want to mention the baby because I didn't want to burden Ethan, you know, the kid I haven't seen in 18 years.
Oh, right.
I'd say Ethan has several emotions probably at play here beyond a new baby coming. The person who created him hasn't seen him in 18 years. The person who created him was in jail, and the person that created him thinks power washing machines is his ticket to immense wealth.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. That is the delusion that is pumped into the water supply lines across this country by the people at the top, be it the Kochs, be it the Diamonds, be it the Pelosi's or whatever.
Oh, who's that family did all the pills?
Oh, the Sacklers.
Oh,
yeah, those
them
people.
Too.
They trick everybody into thinking that we can be billionaires, but some of us can. Definitely not Chance. Again, he's hemorrhaging money on microtransactions and trivia games. But he tells Ashley, listen, I'm having a cinematic moment with my son on the phone, and there are actually cameras. I'm not going to break that up and ask you if I can pay for his plane ticket. She says, well, we're in a relationship, so that would be really, really sweet if you could do that and can consider my feelings and finances before you start blowing money. Chance says that he's headstrong, but he usually plans everything out, which was an odd sentence considering he's been in prison twice and he's $30,000 in debt. He may plan things out, but just not very well.
No.
Yeah. So let's get to Sean and Sarah.
Oh, yes.
Last night we had gotten into a fight between the video game addict and the Sarah, who slaughtered her boyfriend with a hot shot of heroin.
That's right.
Yeah.
She's a murderer.
Yeah.
She killed someone.
Right.
Yeah. Hey,
Still got that cough, huh?
You know what? It's really odd. I think my daughter gave it to me. It's like she has that same cough. I feel so bad for her.
It's hand and foot, right?
I don't know.
Hand, shoulders, knees, and toes cough.
Oh, yeah. Hey, so Sarah wakes up. You know, Sean's feeding the baby, which is nice and all. But she tells us she's pretty sure they're close to separating, which terrifies me because that would then free this idiot up to blast more population paste into some other broken hicks, thus furthering the demise of the planet Earth. God damn it!
I know. It's a shame. It's a shame.
I've spent $70,000 trying to create children. This man fucking walks by a broken hick, and he has 18 kids. Life is unfair.
He just pops all over the place, and you know it's a sin to waste your seed, according to the
Bible,
the good book. But yeah, he hardly ever does. I mean, it's astounding to think of the myriad bodies he has walking around on planet Earth that are replicas of his DNA, which kind of have a ceiling on happiness.
Can you imagine him actually masturbating, and if we analyze his sperm, it like wakes up from the fucking ground wherever he shot his load, a bush or a plant or something. It's like, woo, where's the pussy? Like it walks out, it actually seeks it.
Yeah, you know, it seeks it. You know what might be happening? Maybe these people have semen that is gaseous. Semen that can kind of, like the novel coronavirus, kind of float between us. I don't know. It doesn't sound...
His sperm's like that.
Yeah, sad stuff. So anyways, see, I said it again. So they really rekindle things quite well. And I have to say, cutest baby on the show. I mean, this kid is so fucking adorable.
And you hope they break the cycle. You pray for him.
Yeah. So impossible, right? Impossible?
To break the cycle?
Yeah.
Of course.
Impossible. But they've got about, I would say, I don't know, when does the cap on fucking up your kid get kind of squeezed on? Is it like 6 or 7 years old? And then
they are
cooked?
by then. Yep. And then they could have a perfect life up until 10, and then if say both parents died in a car wreck,
sure,
then you could screw the kid up that way too.
Yeah, that's right.
But normally you're who you are by 6 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, I was gonna say, but the Sean character, he does want a better life for his family, you know.
Yeah.
Because Sarah's been airing her grievances at him.
Right.
He said he was up all night thinking about it.
Sure.
And I was like, I'd love to, if we could get a sonogram of the brain activity of him thinking over this stuff.
Jalen, do you know if that's the correct test to order?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
not
so.
a sonogram to study the brain?
No, I don't think they squirt goop on your hair and then just kind of move shit around.
All right, some kind of brain scan. Because it would reveal it'd be a sad old gopher on a wheel with a cigarette in its mouth just churning away. That's his brain.
Right.
It's a sad
and it's one of those old big bikes too, with the big wheel in the front.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Flintstones bird that gets shit and pissed on. So anyways, Sarah feels as though she's having a breakthrough with Sean, and that's sad because it's coming at a time where she is trying to rekindle a relationship with her ex-baby daddy, who is currently in rehab, and because of cycles impossible to be broken, will go back to drugs eventually. Or jail. Listen, it's tough out there. Just be happy that you're not on this show.
Yeah.
You're doing better.
And I sense you want to move on to Justine. Michael, just one last note on
they're our favorite couple.
Oh, not this podcaster. Sean reflects on being a horrible father to his other 23 children, and now he wants to make it right, okay? And this is how he's going to do it. He's going to sit in a lazy chair and play video games with one of them.
Right.
Remotely. Grade A parenting.
He could have a show called 23andMe. He really could. Octomom, eat your heart out. Let's get to Justine and Michael, our favorite couple. But before we do, let's take a quick break to talk about our favorite new sponsor. You know, THC's all the rage these days. What with Martha kids. And Snoop, smoking it and whatnot.
She's 80, you know.
Yep. And some of the stuff's just too strong.
Oh.
Way too strong.
Yeah.
Who wants to be zonked out of their gourd?
Yeah, or start having like hallucinations or be paranoid.
Nobody wants that. You know how to help?
Tell me.
You microdose. Our show today is sponsored by Microdose Gummies. Microdose Gummies deliver perfect entry-level doses of THC that help you feel just the right amount of good. Let's say, and we've had these for a couple weeks, right? So I was at a party the other night. I wanted to take the edge off a little bit. I took a microdose, walked in there, was my best self. I was not looking around, head on a swivel. I wasn't freaked out. And people did offer me fat cudgels of marijuana, but I said no, I'm okay. I have enough THC in me right now, thanks to microdose gummies.
I use it to calm down after a long day of work, Dylan. It's just that right state of mind it puts me in. I have one little gummy, and before I know it, I go to bed naturally at an early hour. I wake up the next morning, I feel great. Before that, I used to have to pound 3 bottles of Pinot Grigio.
That is called alcoholism, and you don't want that, right? That's why microdose, I mean, they help in so many different ways. If you're a gym rat like me, you go, you pump, you're sore, these will help. You get anxious, these will help. You're stressed, these will help. You're hungry, these will help. Or you're not hungry, these will help. So they help everything. They're the best. Microdose gummies are the best. Microdose is available nationwide. To learn more about microdosing THC, go to microdose.com and use promo code or use code BADTV to get free shipping and 30% off your first order. That is insane. Links can be found in the show description, but again, that's microdose.com, code BADTV. No dots in between the T and the V, just BADTV, all one word. And 30% off is an insane deal. We get lots of sponsors that are like, we'll check you 10.
5. I don't wake up for 10 till it's 10.
Yeah, well, now wake up for 30. Go to microdose.com, use promo code BADTV. So, our favorite couple, Monique and Derek, there is a debate over a doula. Now, Monique is on her 4th child, collectively their 8th. She wants to do everything she wants to do this time around, which means she wants to give birth in a bathtub, screaming in pain in a room adjacent from the other 3 children and the pile of trash on the refrigerator, because that's what she wants to do.
This time
she's going to do it right. Now, these two fucking matching idiots. We go meet the doula, and the topic of geography comes up as Michael is wanting to buy his dream home. And that's when they begin to brawl in front of this innocent victim.
Very uncomfortable. There is also first a discussion over, just using all organic stuff with none of those nasty GMOs or whatever like that.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, fucking losers. Let's start with the base. Let's start with being parents to the other 7 children you fucking sired, you sons of bitches. 4 of which live out of state. And yes.
Well, why do they live out of state, Patrick? He has said he cannot accommodate them. It's like, I feel like you're being really hard on the guy.
Yeah, maybe I am. Or maybe I just think he's stupid, because when he starts going into all the places that he's, planning for this big move to live, he says he wants a big house with lots of lots of land.
Yeah.
And this is a direct quote: the Midwest southern part of the East. Forgive me for being a judgy prick, but I don't think this man knows what he's saying.
The Midwest southern part of the East.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is that? Pennsylvania?
It's a mystery. No clue.
Is that, are we talking about Oklahoma? Are we talking about Arkansas?
Well, I think he does list the states off
later on. I don't know geography good either.
He says it could be Florida, it could be Texas, it could be Atlanta, or Vegas.
Oh, yeah, Vegas, the Midwest southern part of the East. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Right. It depends on how you look at the globe.
Can I tell you, and this is where Patty's dipping into the negative a little bit. Look, Michael and Justine, I know you two are narcissists, so I know you listen to the 4 podcasts that talk about you.
Yeah.
Understand this. This show will chew you up and spit you out. None of those things are going to happen. You're going to be living in that shitty fucking rundown house that you're living in now. Anything that these producers have told you or promised you about spinoffs aren't happening. You guys suck.
Patrick, I feel like you're being really hard on him.
Big time, man. Big time.
To quote the great Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. I think that's what he screamed. Anything is possible. Something like that. We know that is a lie, though, right?
Yeah.
And Hollywood is to blame for this. These stories get spun, these stories of optimism and hope and good guys winning out in the end, and that's just not how life works.
The kid from the Goonies had a 35-year retreat from acting career, comes back, wins an Oscar, gives an amazing speech that made us all cry.
Yep.
Sadly, what that has also done is unintended consequences.
Oh, wow.
We will now have a bunch of people who are in their 40s, who have never booked anything, watching that speech, holding on to that dream that will never happen, as it did for him.
Yeah, it's what Anthony Bourdain did to heroin-addicted middle-aged chefs.
Yeah.
Honey, you can't write anymore. You can't do this. No, it's the next Kitchen Confidential. So back to Taylor and Chance. Ethan is on his way. Chance's son. His first time seeing him in what amounts to an entire adult life. We have a very explosions in the sky kind of meeting here. And that was the band that you were looking for the other day that Flea said it made him cry, I think.
No, it was Sugar Ross.
Oh, Sigur Rós.
Sigur Rós.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Sigur Rós one time in New Orleans, and Sigur Rós does make beautiful music despite that wonky eye. And I was with a fraternity. I wasn't in the fraternity, but God heavens no. But the guy was standing next to me, and he was like, "This is fucking gay." I was like, "All right, you want to go see Bass Nectar?" All right. So Ethan is, it's a beautiful, beautiful kind of rekindling of their relationship. Though I do have to say, Ethan is a bit of a bummer.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, he has reason to be, I'll tell you. His
What's
old
that?
man's a loser. And within 5 minutes of rekindling their relationship, I don't know, you want to hit a strip club and get some beers or something?
You want to hit a strip club?
No. Well, I was just kidding. But seriously, there's one right down the corner, man. If you want to go down.
Yeah, and so odd too. Chance is a big True Blood fan.
Oh, yeah. I'm shocked they left that in the show. That show's been off the air for 9 years.
He was a big fan of what Sookie was getting up to.
Sookie.
In the bayou.
She smells fucking sweet, Sookie.
Yeah. And, of course, we've talked about it many times before. That show did let us and the rest of the world know how perfect Lizzie Kaplan's cool boobs are.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Also, I learned a lot about vampires.
Me too.
So, we roll through the kids because there are so many in this room.
There always are.
And Chance says, this one's name is Jacqueline. Don't. I mean, you can't.
More consonants in a name does not add value.
It's not even a consonant. It's a bastardization of the vowel. It's an uppercasing of the vowel that makes absolutely no sense. Her name is Jacqueline? No, it's not. You cannot subject your child to a looking over the cliff kind of moment every roll call she ever goes through in her entire life. Jacqueline? No. It's Jacqueline. And then all the children make fun of her.
How about picking up your coffee at Starbucks?
Yeah. Horrible. So Ethan looks to camera and says something sad. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Well, he lets us know. I guess he had a few other guys who stepped in as male role models. One of them was named Lloyd. That guy was apparently a dick.
Yeah. So I thought there are a lot of extremely sad moments in this episode, specifically with Chance and Ethan, but firmly on the podium is Ethan saying, I thought a guy named Lloyd was my dad for a long time. I'm lucky that he wasn't. What is up with Lloyd? My God.
Well, he's a loser, man.
Who is Lloyd? But a loser, or, you know, Charlie's uncle in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Could have been that kind of situation. So the son has an addiction to spending money. Oh, wow. I wonder where he got that from.
Yeah, although this was a real bonding moment because his dad's like, hey, man, I have an addiction too, but it's to pills.
Well,
see, we're bonding. You see?
Right. But
we both are addicts.
He also has an addiction to spending money. And Chance says, listen, savings account is such a foreign word to me. I am wanting to move on.
Well, I was just going to say, I want to differentiate there. Two very different addictions. Ethan copped to addiction to spending because he likes to go to a lot of concerts, and his dad's addiction allowed him to sell his asshole for drugs.
I mean, my God, man. My God.
Two very different addictions.
You know, I've heard that it is not gay if you get fucked in the ass or fuck someone in the ass, which is a cool thing to do, period. We've talked about it all the time. I think you should just embrace the fact that it's occupying a spectrum of sexuality that is cool. But if you do it, if you abstain from it 6 months away from your release date, then it's not gay.
Right. Was that one of those prison knowledge bites they had?
Yeah.
I missed that one.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Another bite they had was about the art of eating placenta and the art of making placenta art. Can we move on from that?
Oh, that one, yeah. Yeah, let's move on from that.
Okay, so let's get to Erica and Puppy. What a peacoat on this character. My God. Puppy has a t-shirt on from what I think is a super intense art gallery. It says art that kills. But anyways, let's get to Mom's house. This is a lovely spot.
Oh, yeah. It looks where they hold chicken fights.
Yeah, it looks like many of my family's back east. It looks like many of their homes. And this looks like, I've told the story before, my Aunt Tina, who is rather overweight, so she does not come down from the porch to get the foods that are cooked out at the cookout. They are brought up to her as though she is some kind of god. That is where this kind of thing takes place. But another event that takes place here is an abusive, cheating boyfriend lumbering over a conversation that needs to be had between an ex-felon and her toothless mother. Now, the mom...
Sigs and sadness.
The mom lays out a really cool spread for them. It's various bottles of liquor and orange juice. And when Eric goes inside, Puppy tells her mother in front of the rusted air compressor that I was referring to earlier, it's so big. I don't even know if it's that. It might be a generator, but it's such a big piece of machinery. On the front facade of the home, I mean, my God. That she's in trouble and that she needs to get out of her relationship. And the mom said something deliverancy, I'm not sure, but yeah, this broke my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
This broke my heart a little bit.
Yeah, I should go live with her mom's, which she should do.
Yeah, I wanted her to just say, you know, I'm going to stay back with Mom because Mom is incredible. It sounds like she has a stoma, but she doesn't have a stoma.
Like she talks like this.
Yeah, exactly. But she doesn't have one. It's unbelievable. It sounds like
Eric's a dick.
It sounds like she'll have one soon. So, let's get back to the real juice. Derek has left the car, and the sisters have decided that what they are going to do is hijack the vehicle. They are the baddest bitches in the den. I think that's what they said. I was watching with my mom and Ruby, and when they show the catfish pics of Monique, my mom said, well, it would seem as though she sent pictures that were rather misleading. And she's right. I mean, my God, those Japanese animation filters that people slap on.
I don't know why they do it.
Neck up, lots of shit on your face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Elizabeth explains, hey, Derek, cool your jets, man. I spent $300 on these goddamn nails in this absurd, stupid outfit. Mm-hmm. There's no way I'm punching somebody today. Elizabeth also adds that she'll be civil with Monique, despite Monique catfishing her. And she says, look, I don't want to be on the show punked.
Yeah.
Well, if you were catfish, you could just go on the show Catfish.
Yeah, with Nev. Could you imagine if Ashton popped out?
Hey, you've been punked.
You've been punked.
I'm awesome.
So we pull into the parking lot of Kia Sorrento, the only partition between the two feuding factions. Fortunately for us, a Mack truck would not be enough to part these two for any given amount of time. Now, according to the one in pink, Elizabeth, I believe, it started with Monique's sister asking for temperature. Mm-hmm. Something that I thought was rather innocuous, but evidently it did launch a blood feud between these two. But it also started when they checked on her social media, And this is a very confusing powder keg. I don't know what... where is the Franz Ferdinand assassination here? What set this thing off? Is it when Sabrina did the temperature check, or is it not?
Well, Dylan, let me just say this. The parties attempt to work out their differences. A lot of the tension stems from the miscommunication and disagreements online, apparently. And then before you know it, accusations of someone being a hoe is inserted. Sure. And then this whole peace pipe thing is off the fucking rails.
Off the rails. It's turned into a crack pipe quite quickly. Was that insensitive?
Not at all.
All right. So we move on to Work Hard and No Break, a bizarre song that brings us into the Bella Diamond Plastic Surgery Facility. Sarah wants to look like the girls in Sean's video games. There are no women in his video games. There are just soldiers shooting other soldiers. Actually, Sean does strike me as the guy that would probably...
Oh, you don't want to look at his Google searches.
Yeah, squeak that gaseous shit out to some hentai. You ever seen that stuff?
I've seen it. I'm aware.
You ever seen that stuff?
Don't like it.
Well, nobody likes it.
Oh.
Except for extremely repressed Japanese men and Germans.
Australians are pretty crazy, too.
Yeah, it's true. So, again, watching the show with two women, evidently I didn't know this, but you need a nipple put back on when you do a boob transplant?
Ooh, I think they can go under it. There's a couple different procedures. Yeah.
Oh, well, let's talk about this fucking plastic surgeon. This guy does not look like he should be allowed near strangers' boobs. This is a creepy looking guy. He provides color commentary on her breasts. He's like, well, you definitely won't need a lift. Hey, can you not say that with your fucking waxy bald ponytail, please? My God. Let's get back to Missouri and a little cotillion at Elio's. Ethan is wondering which fork he is to use for his salad. Now, obviously, this is a place that should not be even giving people that option because it does not insist that. No, but alas, there is a salad spoon or a salad fork.
Taylor disagrees. She thinks Chance is at this place with a fancy dinner to impress Ethan.
Yeah.
An upscale Shakey's Pizza.
Yeah. Now, again, we don't want to rag on anybody for their means. But this is an upscale Shakey's Pizza. I mean, you can see there's like a parking lot and like fluorescent lighting, anyways.
We'll talk about any of the food. Did you make any notes on the food?
Okay. So you cannot act like you were at the French Laundry when there's like balsamic vinaigrette in a bottle on the table. And Chance was incorrect about that fork. It's the smaller fork you use for your salad. But the dinner goes off without a hitch. And without a hitch, I mean, by saying without a hitch, I mean, they pay with Visa gift cards, 3 to 4 of them, and Ashley is really pissed because she was going to use those Visa gift cards to buy the children food when Chance came home for the 5th day in a row, saying the power washing business is not going well. So she needed that money, but Chance wants to impress Ethan.
Now, I think we skipped over this. We learn a little
Terrible
bit.
job hosting.
No. That Chance is a little fast and loose with the truth on how they came up with that new, their soon-to-be baby. The name is Mason. He explains it's from a family lineage.
Thank you.
But it's all a lie. They chose it because they saw the name on a bathroom towel and thought it looked cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because how could Chance have named a human any other way? It's obviously from a towel.
Can I say this? This is on a serious note. You know, Dylan, you guys pay us and listen to have us make fun of this show. I truly, honestly, the toughest part about this show is always the children. The children sitting at that table with this moron and all his horrible decisions, and then Taylor's tagging along with it, and basically every participant on this goddamn show. That's the only thing. If I'm just taking, I'm sorry, a digression. I just want the audience to know that Dylan and I understand the gravity of these people's lives, and we feel for the children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not for them really, but for the children, definitely.
Yes, the children.
But alas, the children will grow up to be carbon copies of the people that raised them, and we will care no longer for them. Which begs the question, should we care about the children at all? Because they are destined to be a suck on all of us. So the Visa gift cards are charged down to 0 and or returned, saying there is nothing on this. And we move on to Cleveland, to our favorite
WrestleMania
couple.
43.
What's that?
WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Dude, that's like... Kaylin, tell him.
No, but why are you saying WrestleMania 43?
Well, it's like it's going to be a huge brawl. It's going to be a melee.
Oh, no. I thought we first have to talk about where we're going to... No. First we have to talk about where we're going to go.
Oh, where are we going to go?
With Michael and Justine.
Oh, they're talking again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So Michael and Justine are back. He walks into the house and he calls the children cocksuckers.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, chicken heads."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the beginning of an episode of Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
Ward comes home. "Hey, chicken heads."
Yeah. My mother asked what a chicken head was, and I said it was a woman who gobbles cock like she's addicted to it. It's like a blah, 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 that kind of thing. That's why they call him a chicken head. So that's what he called his children. And because of that kind of communication, I think Santana is having a tough time. His mother is a horrific parent, but also he is autistic. Mm-hmm. So... Pat and I had a discussion last week about how I need to do a better job to make the show funny. And because of that, Pat, take it away because I can't do it.
Oh, there's no laughs here, man. Michael gives an impromptu speech about the next steps of the family and their big moving plans. It's either going to be Texas, Georgia, Vegas, or Florida.
Well, wherever it's going to be the Midwest southernmost point of the East. Yeah, but that's probably going to be Vegas because of the schools.
Right,
yeah.
And Michael also adds, "Hey, I'm not a fan of this Santana kid."
Yeah.
Wow.
He's weird.
Oh, God. Michael, I hate your
All right,
guts.
let's get back to Helm's Deep.
WrestleMania, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Elizabeth.
What do you call the orcs that came up out of the sacks in the ground?
No clue.
Oh, I'm ashamed. Go ahead.
All right. Well, just when you think the fight, the two families are going to be able to just walk away with the basically agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I guess Elizabeth goes back and sits in her car and puts her ninja mask back on and that little pony hood.
Yeah.
And that's when I don't think it's Pina Calandra.
Orakai, absolutely. Who is the Orakai in this situation? It's got to be Elizabeth.
Right.
Yeah, she's probably going to be the one that sends a couple arrows into old Boromir, And I don't know who Boromir is in this situation, but...
Well, anyway, Dylan, I think everybody's just going to drive off in their separate directions, but that's when I think it's Pina Calandra. She starts going, swing.
Again, microaggression.
Swing.
Swing then.
Swing then.
Swing then.
And then Elizabeth, this is the only way I could describe how it looked. She gets out of the car, and she looks like one of those advertisements outside of a car dealership that is created, what do you call those things? Those blow-up dolls?
This is what she looks like, Patrick. When you are running downhill, it happened to me as I was when I was a small boy. I can't remember what lighthouse we were going to, but if you jump off a skateboard, if you get too much speed, sometimes your feet don't work. Now, Elizabeth was not on any decline at all. She was just running on flat ground. So it's shocking, but also not shocking that her feet could not catch up with the 3-mile-an-hour winds she was riding on. Now, luckily for her, she did fall straight into those fat-ass bitches that she was trying to take down. A brawl ensues. Like I said, weaves are snatched. Nails are dug into people's heads, eyes, faces, and necks, and the security guard form tackles Elizabeth into a parking block. Now, I would be concerned that it could do some spinal damage, but There is so much meat between that most important, fundamental, foundational element of each and every human being and that parking block that I think she's going to be okay. Just a little bit of bruising around grotesque tattoos that are probably down there.
Yeah, her wounds will heal, Dylan, her physical wounds, but will her emotional wounds after having her ass kicked by Team Mo?
Well, if you don't think you have any emotional wounds, despite them taking over your entire life, do you have any at all?
Probably not. Completely disconnected from any feelings.
That's it for us. Jump in the comments. Let us know what you thought. Join us on YouTube. Subscribe. Bad TV, badt.v. TV has dots in it. It's an abbreviation for television or acronym or whatever. I don't know what it's called. Join us on Patreon. Ad-free episodes, uncensored episodes for $12. And at the end of the month, we'll be doing a live hangout with all of you guys. Maybe we'll watch a little Life After Lockup. Who knows? Below Deck probably. But depends on what is on television. Another movie podcast is coming at the end of the month. We love you guys so much for supporting us. More content to come. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Later,
There's
dudes.
a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.